Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to be giving you guys a quick rundown of what my shot day routine is like. Also, real quick before we get started on today's video, I just wanted to give you guys a huge thank you for helping me hit my goal of 3,000 subscribers. You guys have no idea how much that meant to me seeing that number. Thank you so much to everyone who's been watching, commenting, sharing my videos with their friends. It really means a lot to me, so thank you guys. You guys are the best. I had a bit of a Q&A a while ago where I discussed the differences between American trans healthcare and Italian trans healthcare. And that goes a bit more into detail about like the type of testosterone I was taking before I moved to Italy and the type of testosterone I take now. So if you want more in-depth answers about that stuff, you can go check that video out. I'll link it in the description, and there should be like a card that pops up here or whatever. But just to kind of give you like a basic review of that, when I was in America, I was just taking regular testosterone cypionate, however the fuck you say that. I was doing subcutaneous shots actually in my belly. And I was doing 0.3 milliliters every week. So every Monday I would give myself a shot of 0.3 milliliters of testosterone right in my stomach fat. When I originally started testosterone, I was doing intramuscular shots in my thighs. And after a while I built up some scar tissue and it was getting painful, and it made my shot anxiety really high. So I decided to just switch to subcutaneous shots. Thankfully my doctor at the time was open to that. I know that some doctors and nurses say that you're not able to inject testosterone subcutaneously, so you may need to speak with your doctor a bit more in depth if you would like to switch, or you just may need to find a new doctor. But when I moved to Italy, they don't have the type of testosterone that I was using in America here, so I had to switch to Sustanon. This is what my vials look like now. This is what a vial of Sustanon looks like. It's just 1 milliliter. So that's the vial that I use now, and I did unfortunately have to switch back to doing intramuscular shots. You can't inject Sustanon subcutaneously, you have to do it intramuscularly. So I am back to doing shots in my thighs, and instead of doing shots weekly, I do them every 20 days. Again, I go more in depth about this whole process in my Q&A about testosterone in Italy. This is just like a basic overview. So yeah, every 20 days I do an injection of 1 milliliter into my thighs. I have heard of people doing shots in the like upper part of their butt cheeks or in their shoulders, but I'm not experienced with those areas, and I'm not sure that I would be able to do that on myself, and my girlfriend is too squeamish around needles to do my shots for me, so I'm just sticking to my thighs for now, and I haven't had any issues with it recently, thank God. I do still get quite a bit of shot anxiety, but I'm hoping that since I'm filming a video this time while doing my shot, it's going to keep my mind occupied. It's going to keep my mind off the fact that I have to give myself a shot. Dear YouTube, please don't take this video down. It's for educational and medical purposes only. Please, I'm begging you, do not flag or report this video. I'll go ahead and show you guys everything that I have on hand for my shots, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys how I do it. Alright, so if you're looking for a good kind of like shot day kit, I would really recommend checking out Stealth Bros Co. They have a great little dop kit that you can hold all of your shot day essentials. I don't have mine anymore. I think I lost it in the move from America to Italy, so I keep all of my shot day stuff in this Christmas cookie tin. I literally just washed this out and it just opens up like this. It holds everything in there. I'm pretty low right now. I actually need to go get some refills on my prescriptions and things like that, but this is what it looks like on the inside. I'll give you guys a better view actually. Hang on one sec. Okay, so here's everything that I keep in my shot kit. It's got this Sharps container from Stealth Bros & Co. That keeps all of my used needles in there. Of course, I've got my Sustanon, then I've got some Band-Aids. All of my needles and syringes are in here, and then something that I don't keep in here is these little pads that I use to wipe down the injection site before actually doing my shot, and then of course the disinfectant that I put onto this little cotton pad thing. But yeah, that's literally all I use for my shot days. Alright, so now that we've kind of discussed what type of testosterone I use and how I do my injections, and you guys have seen the ins and outs of my shot day kit, I'm going to go ahead and do my shot. I'll be doing like a little voiceover thing, and I'll try to give you guys as good of an angle as I can when I actually do my shot and when I'm like drawing the testosterone and things like that. So bear with me, and let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing I do is I switch out the needles. So I replace the injection needle with the drawing needle. That way I can make sure that I get all of the testosterone out. It just makes it easier to get it out of the vial because it's a wider gauge. Then I draw out my dose in air so I can inject the air into the testosterone. Then I flick the top of the Sustanon vial, just making sure that there's no bubbles or anything, and pop the cap off with this little cloth pad. And then once that is done, I just withdraw the testosterone from the vial into the syringe. Usually doesn't take that long. As long as I warmed it up beforehand, it's pretty easy. Once again, just flicking the syringe to make sure that all the air bubbles go to the top and are popped. Then I kind of push it up to make sure I got my dose right, make sure that I didn't get too much or too little out of the vial. Flick it a couple more times, and then we're gonna switch the needles back so that it's the proper needle for injection. Sometimes they get stuck, so it can be a bit difficult to pop off, but usually it's nice and easy. Once that's done, again, I line it up to make sure that I have my bright dose, flick it some more just to make sure that all the air bubbles are gone. Making sure that I put my used needles into my sharps carriage so I don't stab myself or anybody else, and I can dispose of them properly. And then I just roll the syringe in between my hands and kind of hold up my fist to warm up the testosterone and make it easier for injecting. And this is what it looks like when it's all done. Then when it's time for doing the actual shot itself, we take the cloth pad and the antibacterial wipe and we wipe down the injection site. If you didn't know that I had this much leg hair, now you know. And if you weren't familiar with my leg tattoos, now you can see them. Making sure that it's dried properly. This is just a trick that my first ever nurse told me about to measure out where you're going to do your injection. You should do it in the middle of your thigh. And I always pinch the site first so I know how bad it's going to hurt. Obvious trigger warning, I'm about to do my shot, so if you don't like needles or anything like that, look away. It always takes me a second to kind of like catch my breath and hype myself up. And there we go. This shot went really well. It didn't really hurt that bad going in, and it took a little bit to get the testosterone to start going through the needle in the syringe, but once we got it going, it was pretty smooth. You have to push kind of hard because the testosterone is pretty thick. Even though I warmed it up first, like I said, it takes a bit for it to start going through the syringe and the needle. So yeah, almost done. And usually once I feel like all of the testosterone is out of the syringe, I let it sit there just for a couple more seconds before I draw the needle out. That way I can kind of prevent any sort of leakage or anything like that. This one didn't bleed. There was no leakage, so I was really happy about that. That's the sign of a good shot for me. And then I just slap one of these tiny little circle band-aids on there, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Simple process. Shake it around a bit, and you're done. Alright, that's literally it. That's my entire shot day routine. I don't have any sort of like special rituals or anything. Usually if my girlfriend is napping or if I'm just doing it by myself, I'll turn on some music or maybe watch a YouTube video or something on Netflix just to keep my mind preoccupied and not really focus too much on the fact that I'm giving myself an injection. I don't have a big fear of needles. For some reason, it's just the thought of stabbing myself and injecting myself with medicine that kind of creeps me out a little bit. I'm completely fine with needles in regards to like tattoos or giving somebody else a shot. It really doesn't bother me, but for some reason just doing it on myself it just gives me a bit of anxiety. So yes, most of the time I will keep myself occupied with something else or my girlfriend will talk me through the process, and that usually helps out a lot. But today, filming it for you guys, actually, this is probably one of the smoothest shots I've had in a while. It really didn't bleed at all. The actual injection of the needle and the medicine didn't hurt. Hopefully I won't have too much of a dead leg in the next couple of days because we do have a big trip for Gaia's birthday this weekend planned out. So I would like to be able to move around it with minimal pain and ride some bikes and go walking and stuff. But yeah, it was a really smooth shot. I hope that this was informative for you guys, helpful for you guys. If you have any other questions, as always, you can comment them down below. You can DM me on Instagram and ask them there if you would prefer that. If you have any tips on how to kind of battle shot day anxiety, you can leave those down below as well. Maybe I'll give your method a try the next time. But yeah, if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, give me a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.